Ladies and gentlemen, how are we all doing? Getting ready to get into this one. The COD Ireland playoffs are here. Show a little hype for this one, folks. Is welcome on into the stream. Zepcast here, coming at you live with COD Ireland for the Season 2 playoffs of the COD Ireland League getting underway. Well, they got underway a couple of days ago, but the first time we're seeing it get underway on stream, which is pretty damn cool. So folks, I hope you're hyped for that. And I just realized I can't actually hear myself through these earphones, which is throwing me off, but alas, it doesn't matter. As long as you can hear me, that's what's okay. And folks, we are going to be getting into this one very, very soon. We're running a little bit behind, as is the go-to here, but we're a little bit behind. Looking forward to getting into this one as we begin our road through the playoffs. We have a lot of big announcements coming throughout the playoffs. We have the Warzone tournament coming up. April is going to be a huge month for COD Ireland, as we're going to be getting underway with 2 games this evening. The second game is going to be an absolute banger that you won't want to miss, but the first one should hopefully be no different, as we are down already on the losers bracket side, the losers round 1 of Division 2, where it is going to be none other than WW facing off against the Order. One of these players will be finishing right here and now. This will be it for them, one of these teams I should say, whereas the other is going to have a chance to move through the losers bracket and get all the way potentially to that grand final, where it'll be a little harder for them when they get there, but they'll have given themselves a fighting chance. So we'll be looking forward to seeing how that one ends up. And Chief Lid, welcome in with the follow. Appreciate you, my friend. Terrific caster. I've caught you a couple of times. Absolutely love seeing your stuff, mate. I honestly should be watching cast more, but the few that I've checked out of yours, absolutely fantastic. So folks, without further ado, because I believe we are running, yes, I did say we are running a little bit behind, and I want to get through the bells and whistles and stuff. And I also just want to let you know of things that we're not ready to announce yet, but we have a lot of really interesting talks happening, and that's sort of why the promotion of the streams and stuff hasn't really been all there, because we have been hard at work putting something together that is really going to truly change the COD space as we know it, folks. So believe me, you are not going to want to miss that. And I also do hope that you can hear me and everything is fine. Again, it has been a little while since we've actually done this outside of the LAN, which I'm sure any of you who tuned in to check out the LAN would have seen that we did the showcase event. It was a lot of fun. It was absolutely a lot of fun, but we're a little bit rusty, so do forgive us if things are a little bit all over here, but we of course will try our best, as we always do. So I believe I've just gotten that stream retweeted on my personal. There we go. Finally got that out of the way. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be nearly ready to get all the way with the games. But first, I want to take you on a little journey through the maps and modes that we're going to be playing in today's broadcast. Number 1, we are going to be going on to a Vault Hardpoint. Vault Hardpoint, a map that you normally see pop up at some point or another. I mean, Vault is slowly phasing itself out of the Irish side, right? Or phasing itself out, should I say, of the normal side. Like, people are beginning to want to play other maps. They're just beginning to get the edge towards, yeah, other maps, other modes. It just is a bit more fun. But the Irish side have always been particularly fond of a Vault, especially the Hardpoint. It's a map I think we will constantly see coming out. Moving on to map number 2, we'll be going on to a Hacienda Search and Destroy, one of the maps that is ending up replacing Vault in a lot of instances. For those of you who were here at the beginning, you'll know that it was very much just a Vault and Skyline type of meta that has slowly expanded and changed, and one of the key reasons for that is Hacienda, adding a little bit of variety to the map pool, bringing us back to the Black Ops 4 days, and a map that works on all 3 modes and is a whole lot of fun. People complain about it, but I think in the grand scheme of Black Ops 6 maps, it's honestly up there with one of the top ones, in my personal opinion. But of course, moving on to map number 3, we will be returning to Vault for a Control. Again, something very similar that we see throughout, with the Vault playing so similar on a Hardpoint and a Control, those respawn modes, in terms of the skills, the qualities that you need to bring to the map. It is very much a safe pick and very in line from what we see from Irish players and what we've been seeing so far throughout Season 2 of the COD Ireland League. We don't see many Protocol or Hacienda controls pop in there. People always like to play it safe with the Vault, and you can't blame them. Well, you can. You can't blame them, but I'm not going to here on broadcast. And map number 4, where bouncing left and right will be returning once again, if we get this far, of course, to Hacienda for the map number 4, this time for a hard point. Whatever team had fun on the non-respawn S&D does not mean by any means that they'll have fun when it comes to the respawn on this map. Again, if you get put in the blender, the spawns are readable, your angles will be covered, and you will struggle to get around unless you can bring the gunny to the table. And then finally, folks, if we go all the way, map number 5, going to be a red card search and destroy. The different map, the outlayer, the one that is out of left field in regards to this series. Completely throwing out the handbook if we make it this far. Different strategies for both of these teams. The pressure will be on. Only one will be able to make it through to the next round. One team's season 2 ends right here, right now. And when it gets to the red card, the pressure will well and truly be on. And ladies and gentlemen, those are your maps and your modes. And I actually have a little bit of a mistake of the graphic. I literally just spotted a naughty step slap on the wrist. I'm going to get fined, folks. Going to get fined, and that's fine by me. Quality is the #1 priority here. So it's actually losers round 1, not winners round 1. But folks, don't go anywhere. We're going to get joined into the lobby. Make sure that we're all ready to go to get into map number 1 in just a second. Don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Map number 1 is about to get underway. The Vault Hardpoint. Who's going to come out on top again with one of these folks going home, or staying, should I say, at home, but not progressing through the Season 2 playoffs after today. It's a massive moment for both of these teams. So let us know who you think is going to come out on top as well. Seeing Vito going in with the predictions as well. Absolutely love to see it. Delta posted the socials. Welcome back to Delta. We've got the admins in the house. We've got the players who are hyped to get this one underway. This should be an absolute banger. And once again, best of luck to both of these sides as they're going to have an intense series on their hands as we get underway with map number 1. Let's see what the push is going to be like from these two sides. COD coming in with the first few, absolutely slaying out to begin with, to give the hold through the center. And so far, all WW, but the Order look to shake that one up as they get straight in on the point. Cheesy now. Trying to get on, hold a bit of time, finally getting the first few seconds. COD with another 2, started off absolutely fantastically for this side. Gets taken out though, and Kiro in with the shots. Kiro now trying to get a look out towards this next side, towards this P2. And it is going to be the Order who are trying to hold on to the scrap. But getting moving over. Sweenbean's in a huge spot here, but COD just absolutely ripping to hold this spawn. And so far, WW are in complete cruise control. Sweenbeans picks up 1, but it just seems to be 1 for every 3 at this point, as these pushes have been immaculate. These holds have been immaculate from WW, but now a wave of 3, meaning they can get in on the point. But again, you have none other than COD, who was absolutely popping off. He does get taken out. Now the Order can fight for some time. The timings, do they work out? Not really. 2 down. Sweenbean's going to be on his own in the point. Going to get flooded out as it's a double for more. But Dante with 2. But then COD in with the finish. COD 11 and 4. Absolutely slaying out to begin with. As Kiro now picks up the kill. Rotates off 19 to 53. The Order, even when they've been getting kills, have not been able to make it count with any time, and just haven't been picking up those key positional areas. But Hero's looking to try and change that one now to get pushed up into this top art. May potentially catch a good timing. Has the read. Absolutely pops the head clean off there, even though I don't think there was any headshots there. But you get my point. You understand the sentiment, as he's now just trying to look to guard this top, but for how long? He's got the spot, he's taking the shots, and he's just trying to hold this key spot. Realizes he doesn't have the spawn. Is going to wrap around for 1. Doesn't have the ammo, and just didn't set himself up to go for a double. And the 1 not going to be enough. So WW are going to now be in the position to hold for these key next spawns. No one is playing towards this P3 time other than COD, who picked up another 12 and 6 before P4. Phenomenal start for him. And folks, as well, you may see the Marvel Strike Force stream elements message coming through in the multi-chat. That is part of our sponsor. Please do make sure to keep your eyes and ears out for that later, as we will be discussing that later in the stream between Game 1 and Game 2. A sponsor that is massively important for helping the funding of COD Ireland activities in future. So please do keep that in mind, and please do consider partaking in the sponsor when we roll around to that segment later. But for now, more Drowsy combining for a couple. Dan with 1. This is a huge point now for the side of WW. They are just locking in, locking it down. Dan with 1. But in with the break, the Order. And the Order have been very good at actually breaking points, but their holding power has been non-existent. When WW have the chance to sort of set up and sit where they want to sit to try and break in and get those picks, they really are lethal with it. All in all, not that much difference in the score. 40 points exactly as you rotate back to P1, but a bit of a disparity in the KD. Cheesy 7 and 11, Sweenbean 6 and 10. Not the best starts from them. The KD's overall better in WW, and it have been shown, with Keed in particular absolutely popping off. But Zero now not too far behind, 12 and 13. Granted, the deaths aren't there, but the engagements certainly are. If the rest of the side of the order can't pick it up, we definitely have a map on our hands. But WW will be happy with the way things have been going so far, as it is very sort of, what would you say, stagnant until it's not, in the way this map is being played. These teams very much playing slow off the back of each other, just waiting for the moment to break, and then when they do, they make it count. WW spent a long time kind of in and around that hill, and then just picked up the kills to really hold the scrap, to go for the 100-point threshold, and are going to be double in the lead, or just under that, should I say, because Cheesy's going to get in for the scrap. But once again, you're seeing no real map control from the side of the order, who have struggled to get themselves into these key positions. And the order now going to have to once again try and break from the front. But Key just having his way here, moving around the map. He's been so good at just picking off the stragglers. And folks, you may notice as well in your bottom right, the rotation on the graphic is between COD Ireland and Emerald Corp. Emerald Corp are an esports jersey manufacturer company, an apparel manufacturing company. They are based in Ireland. They are brand new, and they have made COD Ireland jerseys, Flux jerseys. Going to be making more in future, and could potentially make yours. If you want to get an esports jersey made, make sure to go check out their website, emeraldcorp.gg. Emerald Corp, first proper sponsors of COD Ireland, so appreciate them, and appreciate them for the jersey as well. Absolutely love the jersey, and absolutely love what I'm seeing from Keed, who's now finds himself 22 and 13, being the real difference maker for a side who is excelling here. But again, for all the hard work WW are doing, they're not making it count for being ahead by loads in the time. One clean hold from the order has them back into it, and a clean hold against this side, of course, is easier said than done. However, it still has to be said that there is a way back into this one for the order, but for the way that WW have been slaying out, you would think they'd be making more of it than they are. But for now, though, Cheesy pushing up, trying to get in on the break. Once again, WW have all that positional control, holding top R. Cheesy trying to pick up the double. Pulled up the KD a little bit here, Cheesy. 16 and 18 now. Just need to try and get these KDs to go positive. Maybe to be going somewhere. Sween Beans with the knife. The order were nearly on for the scrap, but Sween Beans going to try and get in underneath. There's actually Dante, excuse me, who gets in underneath for a huge kill on Norton. Potentially going to have a bit of positional control here. They are still spawning out, but they do have a chance to make life awkward, as Dante, with a terrific read, is able to pick up one. Is going to continue to try and be a nuisance around this top. Art doesn't see the second somehow. The aim not even getting in, which I am shocked by. But the order on the point until a certain point, and then they get slayed off. And WW now once again on a key position, on a key hill, just being able to rack up the time. And the order, again, you have to give them credit for how they were able to stay in this one, but I think that was more due to WW not locking down the points the way that they should have been. And WW have been getting warmer in this series as well. I mean, Keed has just been absolutely slaying. As Keed now just playing the hold. 91 to 177. And Cheesy now just trying to hold the mid. WW put all their eggs in one basket with that last point. Back to P1. Drowsy picks up one before getting hit, but now the pushes are coming in. Dante picks up one. The trades are in. The order just don't have the read of the timings here, as WW continue to look confident. Keed picks up another two. 30 and 15. But Sween Beans picking up one before getting taken out. The KD not spectacular for Sween Beans either. This game maybe starting to run beyond the side of the order now. Keeping themselves in this map for the longest time, but now WW have started to stretch their lead. It's beginning to look a little bit more hazy. But we're seeing some nice moments. I mean, Zero once again picking up a lovely two-piece, but it's always 2 for 3, or just always a situation where WW are being left with that extra man up. And that man up being the killer. The order now over the 100 points, 94 points in the difference, but Again, map control coming into play. And for the first time, I believe the Order will have it. But for how long? They pick up vital kills throughout the rotation. But Keed now playing the wide angles. A player who's been doing so much damage here, trying to break through from front. But Sweenbeans gets the picks. And now all of a sudden, you have Order on the point. But WW have gotten around the back with Dan spawn. And the Order just not playing the spawns correctly there, allowing for one in behind. It's been defended well, though, but it's kept them off the point and allowed WW to get pushed up further. This is going to present an issue. 80 points in the difference now. The Order trying to close the gap. As Sweenbeans gets dropped. And now Moore's going to try and push in through the front. Gets taken out. And Dante in that position here has acted very strongly in the pinch. He's going to pick up one, or help to pick up the one, but Dan's got the read for the second, and now the hold from the front for Drowsy, but only for so long. The Order picked up the majority at this time, going to lessen that deficit, but not by much. They are going to need to get another clean hold and virtually nullify WW now if they want to pull themselves back into this one. It is not the position you want to be in, but Dante has very much picked up a free roaming aspect right now to try and just dismantle the structures, but that has not worked in this instance. WW getting a 3 down once again back on this point, and will be ready to try and win this one at P4 unless the Order can stop them. But so far, WW are playing way tighter towards this point and are just beginning now to squeeze the rest of the life out of the Order. The Order are going to try and get in for the break. Only 60, just over 60 points in the difference. But WW, again, you talk about that map control, but hello, Sweenbeans with the huge 2, breaking through the back, breaking the spawns. WW now scrambling to get moved over towards this next point. As you see, they're taking that P2 route. And it's up to the Order now to try and defend. They finally have a chance on this key area, but Drowsy's going to be that awkward player. And just like that, the Order are now spawning out. The Order had free reins of a key position, and they didn't even rotate for it properly. Drowsy eventually taken out, but now the Order not in the back, as Dan had gotten around in time, and WW spawned out towards P2 and somehow rotated for P4 quicker than the Order rotated from P3 to P4. It's bizarre, but the Order picked up the kills, and now they're holding the spawns. They have a chance, but Cheesy in trouble. Eventually gets taken out. The trades need to come in. Dante trying to watch the cross. He gets 1. 0-1 as well. Dante actually picking up 2. But they haven't watched around the back once again. Not playing the spawns. Playing too far forward. Not anchoring correctly. Has cost the Order a vital 15 seconds. That could have seen them pull this one back. They still have a chance, but WW are going to play the scrap to go just 14, make that 13 points away from victory, and are now in a better position to rotate. But the Order are picking up the kills here. Again, they need to be huge kills, but they've just been made weak on the crosses. Now going to be all up to Sweenbeans to try and get this break. Sweenbeans, pistol out, picks up 1. Is trying to at least keep them off the point, but WW realizes, well, that this clock could run out, and that wouldn't be a problem. The Order, they've left it too little too late to get the gunny going, and it's been an intense series. They are fighting tooth and nail for every single second. But you feel it's just not going to be enough at this point unless they start getting complete clean holes. And they also need to rotate over towards this P2 position. In huge trouble. Last player up goes down. And you hate to say it, but I think that is that for this map number 1. As Key picks up 1. He knows where they're coming from. Picks up the second. And ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. WW taking map number 1. 250 to 191. A terrific first map, it has to be said. It's one that always looked like it was going to be in the remit of WW. But the Order making it far closer than arguably they had any right to at one point. Giving us one hell of a map. It was slow, it was tentative. Psych puts it perfectly. How's a Vault Hardpoint almost going to time? It was very tentative from both of the teams on those points. But ultimately it worked out for one team, which was WW, who currently lead 250 to 191. They controlled the rotations, they controlled the game, but arguably didn't make the most of time at certain moments, which allowed the Order a chance to pull it back. But only a chance. COD the GOAT, Meraki says, as he was absolutely slaying out on that map for his side. But a long series left to go. Or at least the Order will be hoping so. WW might be sniffing out a quick series here, but the Order can stifle that, take us to a map 4. If they like Hacienda and they can win this map, they'll get to play it again. But if WW win this Hacienda Search and Destroy, they go back to a vault where they seem positionally far more confident. So this is going to be very interesting to see between both of these sides. I believe we're going to be able to get straight into it as well. You love to see it. Straight from the first to the next. Both teams feeling warm. Hear me chowing down on my iced up peach Lipton iced tea, folks. Not affiliated, of course, but hey, Lipton, if you ever want to get involved in Irish Call of Duty for some reason, you know where I'm at. Again, was a brilliant map number 1 to watch, it has to be said. I mean, we'll come back to this screen really quickly. It was a fantastic map number 1 to watch. One that did look like the WW were going to run away with it. And for sure, while they looked like the better team, it just was closer than I think anyone would have thought watching that one, which you have to give so much credit to the Order for doing so. But WW, it has to be said, for how well they were able to slay out in certain moments, not converting that into time the best way they could have. I mean, as it was pointed out perfectly in the chat, and you know, a vault hardpoint running it down to the clock is not something that you would really expect. Maybe it was the strategy just to have complete positional control from WW, but a sort of lack of aggression at times made it really stifled in terms of actually getting on the point, wanting to play for those harder to actually get time on points. And the Order were also doing a great job of breaking when they needed to, and towards the end of the game started to hold really well. But ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your butts, this is map number 2. Gonna get underway right now, loading on to the Hacienda Search and Destroy. A huge moment for the Order here, unless they want their Season 2 COD Ireland League run to end right here, right now in this series. Well, not right now, they'll have one more map, but they'll be fighting back through reams of adversity if they can't get a map under their belt now. Ladies and gentlemen, best of luck to these sides as here we go. We're going to start on board with Dante picking up the bomb and angling towards this B site. Just waiting up. Drowsy going to go for the look. Zero picks up one, gets traded. Drowsy, does he get poor timing? He does, but the shots, the bait, it ultimately saves his life. He knows to rotate out. Now Dante is going to get hit from both sides as the timings just did not work out there, but somehow we're finding ourselves in a 1v1. Cheesy and Drowsy, both of them sort of know where each other are. Of course, not so much now that a couple of seconds have passed and the rotation out from Cheesy. Massive first round. The timings, how do they work? Did Drowsy get the spot? I think he did. I think Drowsy has spotted him. He's on the chase. They're right behind each other, just missing out, but Drowsy with the shot, but he's baited himself out, but he gets the kill anyway. That was interesting. That was an interesting 1v1. I didn't see it going that way. I mean, it was very nearly a choke from Drowsy, but somehow still managing to pick up that kill in a neck-and-neck scenario. And one of the more interesting round ones that I think you'll ever see. Round number 2, the Order may think they threw away that round in the end up, but WW rescuing it. So now once again, you see, it's a team push towards this B site as Dante's going to get one. Does he get traded out? They don't push for the trade out, which is interesting. And Dante is going to get another one here. Picked up a lovely two. The rotation's coming out as it's Dan who's actually going for the window play, but is going to find himself the last alive. A great play. But surely will, yes, and doing it now, rotating out of this position. That's a play that can work again in future. Doesn't want to bait it out. Doesn't want to let them know that that's where he went. Dan on the turn. Needs to pick up the ace here. Potentially finding himself trapped in secret. Rotating back around. Gonna get picked up here from the corner camper in Zero, who picked up, I believe, 2 there. And you have 2 from Dante, unless I have miscounted the kills. But a nice round from the side of the Order. Onwards to another round. Round number 2, a round apiece for both of these sides. The Order have proven that in Search and Destroy, you can have this thing a bit more neck and neck. Is Dan trying to pick up one of the cross. The bomb is going down. Dante with the quick plant. The Order want to force WW into making their moves early. Another first blood from Zero. Cheesy with 1. All 3 first bloods, I believe, now from the Order. As WW left scrambling here. And us, just like that, another 4v1 scenario. WW managing to get the kill there before being taken out, but have only been able to pick up 1 kill in 2 rounds. As the Order have really stepped up their game at a vital moment here in map 2. And now it's going to be keyed with the bomb. A player who's been so impactful so far, but finding himself 0 and 3 on the Search and Destroy. And crossing over each other a little bit there was a bit dangerous in the shots, but the trades come in. Now they can play a quick plan to their own on B. The Order are seemingly unaware of this. Now going to try and push it out through mid. Zero picking up shots. He's going to cook that nade. That nade doesn't quite work out. Believe me, I've been there with that kind of play. But 2 hits going to come from mid by the looks of things. Cheesy, he baits out the fight. And he's going to pick the kill up. That was absolutely fantastic. 3v2 now. Brilliant movement from Cheesy. Gives the Order a chance, but a little bit unfortunate timing. But Dan picking up 2. And WW stealing a round back, evening this one up. And folks, this series, this map anyway, looking way closer than I think certain people in the chat definitely seem to suspect. The Order versus WW, it never ceases to amaze us what we see come out of players out of teams in the playoffs. The Order have a chance to even it up. WW want to go 2-0 up. As we are on round number 5, it is the Order picking up another 2. Drowsy evening it out a little bit though, but going to get taken out by Sweet Beans. The angles being covered immaculately here as the Order continue to back each other up. Now a Keyed. Going to push out from the car. Isn't hit with the stun. But does he know that they know he's there? Do they know he's there? Well, they certainly do now that the shots have come in. The push going to come through from Keyed. He tries to rip ahead. Close but no cigar. The trade in. The bait and switch. The Order retake the lead. And both of these sides, I think, feeling confident at the moment. WW aren't playing like a side who are really struggling other than really keyed at the moment. But the Order, I think towards the end of map 1, began to find their footing in this series and have crossed it over well to this second map. But of course, still being close. They can't afford to take their foot off the gas pedal, as it is going to be a quick plant now towards A. It's going down. Dante been caught on the flank. And Keed is going to pick up his first kill. A pretty basic flank, one that, you know, if you're playing that site, you know to watch. And Keed's going to pick up a second. The reads of these timings have been perfect. As now Sween Beans is kind of catch himself in the middle of everything. Nearly trying to go for the ninja. I respect it. As Cheesy picks up one, rotates out. It's going to need to be a 1v4. He's going to pick up the second. Finding himself in a little bit of trouble here. The pistol out and getting more bullets in there than I thought he would have, but the Order not able to take that round. WW take one back, 3 apiece. As more with that AR ripping heads. And a search and destroy potentially going right down to the wire here between these two sides. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who just might be joining us, the Order currently 1-0 down in the series. WW took map number 1. Looked really confident in the map towards the end where the Order made it closer, and the Order have definitely garnered a little bit of momentum here, but is it going to be enough to take their second map? The jury's still out on that one. Zero picks up another first blood. The first bloods from this man. It has been consistent, it has been constant, and it has been dominant. They're now 4-3 up. Not going for the plant straight away, though. Seemingly wanting to play the picks a bit more this time, but they are very much baiting out their position here, which is going to allow WW to kind of make their move as Keed's trying to play this wide angle. The bomb goes down. More at 1, 3v3. Keed waiting for a pick. Is he going to get it? Cheesy with 1. Keed with 1. Keed nearly with the second, but now it's all down to more. He's going to make his way straight to site. Not going to check the right-hand corner, though, when the Order retake the lead and edging themselves closer to evening this series up. WW have been keeping themselves in it to now, but one more round for the side of the Order puts this map on a knife edge. Remember, folks, after this series, do please stick around for the sponsored segment of our stream, which will be massive in supporting COD Ireland. Stick around, check it out, take part as WW push on with the bomb. RCXD incoming, though. And take a look at your map. We have someone going for a swim. And a first blood going through for the Order as well. The flank round the back, it works. Zero picks up 1. Will he pick up the second? He won't, but Drowsy, the last alive. The kill comes in. That bomb was planted, but it'll mean very little. Zero was on a streak of 4 when he picked up that kill, or got dropped, I believe. And the Order, 1 round away from evening up this series. 5-3 here as WW have just not had the reads. The Order have been picking up some phenomenal kills and are growing in confidence. Round number 9. Cheesy gonna try and push up top, or he doesn't. He holds back. Zero with, you guessed it, another first blood. Surely gets ripped to pieces here, and does. As Dan picks up another, now 2v3. The Order needing to come from a man down to win this one, as Cheesy picks up 1. Cheesy and Zero have been phenomenal in this search to destroy. 2v2, Keaton Drowsy versus Saween and Cheesy. As they're committing to waiting around A. Cheesy on the prowl. Sween Beans playing the wide angles with the AR. Struggling to hop over the fence. It happens to the best of us. On stream, a touch bit of performance anxiety. We have all been there. Looking for the picks, not going for this bomb. All of a sudden now, Drowsy somehow nearly gets out, but there comes the kill. 2v1, make that 1v1 though. Cheesy goes on the chase. And he's waiting. This could work, but the timings, will they line up? They don't! As WW take a crucial round to keep themselves in this map. Keyed. The timings worked out incredibly for him. As now, WW just need 2 rounds. They need 1 to take it to around 11. The Order want to try and get this wrapped up to pull themselves back into this series. An RCXD coming through from Zero. He's not going to be the point man on the push, which could maybe not help, but he's gotten the information. And it is going to be Dante holding the heady, but doing it with the sub, which is an interesting strategy to say the least. The bomb being planted. Dante having to back up. Drowsy picking up 1, more with another. And WW poised to take us to around 11, but you've Cheesy and Zero still up. Zero, though, turns around to watch his back. But the timings, again, they just don't work out. Now it's Cheesy all on his own. WW, they've locked in when it's mattered most. And we're going to be going to around 11. Cheesy picking up 2. Should not have gotten that second. But picking it up regardless. Going to go on the push. It gets taken out. And ladies and gentlemen, on the first game of the evening, WW versus the Order, we are going to around 11. A massive moment in this series. A massive moment in the league season of both of these teams. The Order to give themselves a fighting chance, or for WW to put themselves 1 map away from progressing into losers round 2. Keed has pulled it back from 0 and 5 to 6 and 7. He pushes the RCXD through onto B. A trade of kills leaves it in a 3v3. It gets blown up. The Order now in a 2v3. Keed, Moore and Dan. Cheesy has been taken out, and it's all up to Zero and Sween. A Zero going to try and pick up 1. The shots are shaky. He's going to get pushed by 2. Now it's all up to Sween, and the shots are even shakier. He's not going to rotate out. And WW rescue their series on round 11. To take map number 2, 6-5. And go just 1 away from moving on to losers round 2. Ladies and gentlemen, what a series we have just watched. Well and truly could have gone either way. But this time it goes the way of WW, as the Order now left scrambling have to make their way back onto a vault control to try and rescue this series from the pits of despair and to give themselves a fighting chance to stay in the COD Ireland League. Losers round 1 of this Division 2 playoffs here. Potentially 1 map away from the season coming to an end for the Order. WW, though, need to lock in to get this job done. Don't go anywhere, folks, as we'll be resuming in just a couple minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be getting underway with map number 3 in just a couple of moments, but please do make sure to stick around on the stream, as we do have a sponsor segment to be running on the stream, folks, as well. If you do !Marvel, you will see a link that will take you to Marvel Strike Force, a link to be able to download that game. If you download through that link and play, it goes directly into helping COD Ireland secure more funding for our activities, ladies and gentlemen. So if that interests you, please do consider checking that out, as it's going to be potentially our #1 way of raising funding for the likes of LANs, tournaments, and building up COD Ireland in general. It's huge to make these sponsorships work for us, so please do stay tuned, check it out, check out the links, and take part as map number 3 gets underway, folks. Here we go. Best of luck to both of these teams. Should be a banger. Starting with Cheesy. Waiting for the nade to come through. Picking up one, but not before two of his teammates are taking out. The order struggling to move up here. Cheesy with a big kill. Thank you very much as well, Jake, for the follow. Appreciate you. Apologies if it's late. We are on a 1-minute delay. Cheesy. Continue to try to push out WW with the kill. So far, playing relatively well. But the order were trying to get over aggressive, and WW just kind of sat back and waited as Keed. Potentially finding himself back in a good rhythm. So he had a horrible start to the search and destroy, but pulled it back. Going to be a key player for their side, as the order try and get one tick done a day. But Drowsy not going to let it happen. Alongside Moore, who picks up one, but the timing's not going to work out for Drowsy. He somehow gets out with his life. Still in the danger zone. Picks up another, eventually traded out. But done a terrific job at slowing down the order, who now get one tick. They try to get control on this point. Huge kill. Cheesy with a big 2. And that's going to be a clean wipe. Except for Keed, who's going to try and jump in. Or he's going to try and get the picks. He's not going to bother jumping in, securing the lives. 19-17 though, the order. Up and 1 in lives. Now need to make their way towards this B site. Moore challing wide. Doesn't win that one. Zero with a big 2. Trying to pick up the third. Doesn't quite happen. They are making moves towards this site. Beautiful shots there to just kind of distract his attention from top art enough so that he didn't make it to the site. It's key. Trying to play the wide angle. WW are trying to control the spawns here of the order, but it's not quite working out for them just yet, as the order have enough room to kind of get pushed out towards this through P2. As Cheesy picks up another 2, and Cheesy has been integral for the order here. Nearly alongside Zero, dragging his side through map 2. So close yet so far. Trying to pick up another, it just doesn't happen, and he has no one there to play the trades. His fellow sub player just not able to get close enough, and all of a sudden they only have one more chance. They're nowhere near this site, though. All of a sudden, Dante's the last up. It'll be up to him to stop the clock. But he is absolutely pinned back. 2 versus 10. 1 versus 10. WW have shut down this round. And only in losing 3 ticks, take round number 1. Moving on to round 2, the order. A few ticks in the bag, but no work towards that B site. WW. They secure A early. They'll have plenty of time to get ahead on the ticks. But the order with a good start. Dante and Sweet Beans and Zero. Leaving Keed on his own. What has been a largely unsuccessful first push. How in God's name you've won that, Keed? He shoots the bodies. Disgusting. Keed. There's no need, but there's every need. I respect it. Shouldn't have won that, but you did. So let him know. But 23 versus 29. It's only Keed who's picked up kills. It's only Keed who's picked up kills this round for WW. Trying to drag his side through, but Cheesy picking up one. Dan taking him out. And now they make their way towards A. Try and make a little bit of progress. Zero going to pick up one. Doesn't even pick it up. His teammate does. And that's another clean wipe. 26 versus 19. WW are struggling. Zero going to try and pick up another. He does. Drowsy picking up one. Dante at one. Sween Beans at one. WW have been left floundering here, folks. 15 seconds remaining. WW have chance of one last push. Dante. How are the timings working out? Pretty damn perfectly for Dante, if you ask me. As WW shut down. Not a tick to their name. As the Order take their defensive round. As clean as you'd like. 3 ticks to 0 so far. You absolutely love to see it. The Order have a chance to take us to a map 4. Again, we'll be going to a Hacienda map they look strong on. I also do have the feeling WW are a little bit more well versed in the hard point positions, but that's all in ifs, buts, and maybes. So far, the Order got to get themselves through this one. Excuse me, I started that sentence as a hiccup was saying, no, I'm on my way right now. And it was troublesome. Maybe a little bit quavery. Which now makes me want a packet of quavers. The best crisps out there, folks. What's your favorite crisp, chat? Let me know what your favorite crisp is. That's a very important one for COD Ireland. And listen, while you know I appreciate the nationalism, let's not be spamming Tato in the chat, alright? Alright, this is a genuine question. I respect Tato, it should be up there, but don't be saying Tato just because fiddle-dee-dee, I love my crisp sandwich, what do you have in your chicken fillet roll? We're not that kind of Irish league. As 22 to 26, the Order, oh, that is an unlucky nade to run into, but Dante picking up a nice 2-0 at 1, now the Order have a chance to move. Going to get a tick on A, again, just a couple of ticks should surely secure them a defensive round. If we end up going to the final round. One a day, but looking like it's going to only be one as Drowsy now on a 5 spree. Has woken up here. 13 and 10. Popping off, being a nuisance in spawn. He's making everyone weak. He needs someone in to help with the cleanup, though. Eventually getting taken out, as that's another 3 for the Order. We get on site, trying to get this tick 2 for A, and are being very methodical. Very similar to how their first attacking round play. Killing 3, getting a tick, resetting, killing 3, getting a tick, and then resetting, or going for the kill, which is what they seem to be doing here. They have the same point secured, 15 to 16. It is Drowsy who was left scrambling, eventually taken out by Zero, who's now trying to get pushed up to top art, spotted though in the cross, and absolutely taken apart. Souther's coming in with the first reply, Monster Munch. I respect it. The original flavor. Pickled onion, right? It has to be the original flavor. Don't be hitting me with a yellow bag of Monster Munch. I will throw it in your face and say, actually give it back. I'm a little hungry, but I'd rather a purple bag. That's what I would say. Who won the S&D? It was around 11. Of course, someone will have answered that before you hear it from me, but around 11 that WW managed to take, but now 10 to 7. The Order giving themselves every chance of taking a map number 3 here and giving themselves a fighting chance for the reverse sweep in this series. 9-6, make that 7-6, as the Order could potentially take an all-important offensive round, practically guaranteeing this map for them in the way that it's played. However, WW are hanging on, picking up a couple of kills. But the way that these ticks are running, 6 ticks to none at the moment. So WW will have to win a couple of offensive rounds if they want to get this one done. 5v5. The last wave of pushes have to come in now. Zero picks up one. Welcome in, Finney, as well, by the way. First time chatter. Hope you're well. Thank you very much for checking out COD Ireland. Appreciate you. Cheesy now in a 1v4. All on his own. He'll get one, but then it's done. WW take the round. They go one round away from closing out this series, but with not an offensive tick to their name and 6 in the other way. It leaves them with no choice now at this stage. They have to win the offensive round. They'll have to win a offensive round, because the Order have guaranteed themselves two more defenses, as a matter of fact. So all up to WW. Do they secure it here now? Switch gears, turn up? Or will the Order take it in the final round? Here come the pushes. The nade's not hitting. Keed straight onto the point. Gonna help with the kill. Drowsy more with a nice first 2. Sween Beans and Cheesy answering back though, but Keed with another. And the trades eventually coming through with Cheesy with a 2 and 21 and 16. He's been a phenomenal player for his side. And 0, 22 and 24 have been getting engaged a lot in about 48 engagements, 47 engagements if I counted correctly. Make that 48. A lot of engagement for the control. Definitely getting stuck in as the Order trying to implement a spawn trap at this point. 0 with 2. He's going to try and make it 3, but Keed gets the better. Keed and Drowsy picking up a couple. 23 versus 21. Drowsy with 1. Keed now getting onto the point. They're down on lives here, WW, which is deeply concerning for them. Keed gets 1 before getting traded, and the Order have really locked in when it comes to the trades, which has been a huge turning point for them in this series. 0 picks up 1. Now WW to have 20 seconds and not a tick on once again, and over half their lives gone. The Order are playing supreme defense here against the side of WW, as WW may finish without a single tick to their name in this series at this rate. So the Order, a team virtually down and out, have the prospect of running the perfect defensive control series. The wave of kills settles that one. Pushing into spawn, ego channeling the kills. And just like that, we're going to go to a final round. Onwards we go, folks. Final round coming up. The Order, if they can hold on, give themselves a chance in the map 4. WW, though, looking to shake it up. A 4 down on the offense means they can play the quad stack. Hang on a minute. Have they been holding out on us? WW, is they're going to get one of the quickest A's you will ever see. 2 minutes and 10 left to work with. 4 lives in the plus, as they now work their way towards B. The Order have been stunned. Swing Beans and Dante, though, with the pushes. 0 at 1 as well. The Order have stemmed the bleeding, as it has been a shock start for them. There's been no order, no rhyme, no reason. Another 3 down. They have lost so much map control. It's all up to Dante, really, to sort of be a nuisance here, or else they're just going to have to hit from the spawn, as WW are virtually getting that spawn out / spawn trap instilled. Already 1 tick on at B, but Zero with a huge 2. Dante now just to try and stop this tick. He picks up 1. They don't know where the 4th is. In more, but more eventually going to be taken out, and the Order are hanging on, but they are in deep trouble. No map control, a checkerboard, a kill feed. Desperately trying to get pushed out here and to regain some map prevalence. That's how all the timings work. Cheesy gets a spot. He decides to drop low. WW are playing wide on this B. They didn't really get the chance to play on B yet. This is the first time we're seeing WW at B. And that's a huge 2 with a double nade from Zero. Dante with 2. Now I was about to say WW, it seems like B would suit them more, but getting completely stopped there. 16 versus 14. Cheesy picks up 1. He picks up the 2nd. Eventually gets traded out. An apology, psych. I have never actually used that top thing, mainly because I have actually heard it's fixed. But it's never been fixed. For as long as I've used Codcaster, it was never fixed, so I never used it. I've never used that top thing. I can try and actually mess with it in between series, but we may be actually moving on to the next series already, folks. Is WW from the depth, from the pits. They've secured it out of nowhere. WW have taken map number 3. 3-2. And in what looked like a sure thing to go to map number 4 now has ended the season of the Order. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. WW taking this series 3-0 and moving on to losers round 2. It was a close one, but not close enough for the Order. Again, the score, you look at a 3-0 and you may think you know what this series was like. It was just not what you think. It is not what you think whatsoever, ladies and gentlemen. This series was closely fought. The hard point looked interesting to begin with. Then all of a sudden, the Order really pulled it back. Map number 2 could have gone their way any day, and then that vault control pulled out from under them out of nowhere. Absolutely crazy. So, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes game number 1 of this evening. Congratulations to WW who move on. Commiserations to the Order who end their season here. Thank you very much for taking part, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to go to a very, very short break as we get everything prepped for game 2. But when we come back, we'll be beginning the sponsored section of our stream for about 15/20 minutes before getting in to the Coalesce Derby. That's about to be the second game. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in just a second.